friends, this video on electrostatic potential part 1 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. The topics to be covered in this lesson are electrostatic potential, equipotential surfaces, relation between electric field and potential, and electrostatic potential energy. So friends, as you know, we are now studying electrostatics, right? So we have already gone through the half of the topics in which we discussed about electric charges, electric fields due to different kinds of conductors at different points. So now we are starting the next half of the chapter and we'll start it with electrostatic potential. So here is another new concept. So we will study about that. So thinking, as you all are already aware by now, that thinking of the applications of electrostatics, you see so many things around yourselves, many of which I discussed in the previous lesson. So one of the best example which you can think of is the lightning flash which you observe almost every day during rainy season, right? So this is one of the very good examples of electrostatics, where we can talk about the electric charges, we can talk about the electric fields and the electric potential, and also to some extent about conductors. But how it happens and what actually happens, we'll discuss that when we reach towards the end of the lesson, so that it becomes easier for you to understand that, right? So with this, we'll start our lesson on electrostatic potential. So this is again a new concept. So what is potential? So from where does this potential comes now? I already told you before that electrostatics has some kind of resemblance with gravitation, right? In the previous lesson, when we were talking about the electrostatic force, that is the Coulomb's law, it resembled a lot to the gravitational force, right? Both of them look similar. So, before I introduce electrostatic potential, I will first talk about gravitational potential. Because gravitation is something which we have already learned in our previous class. In our class 11th, we have already studied about gravitation. So, let me first start with gravitation and then correlate electrostatic potential with that to gravitation. So, let us look at this. This is a ball which is lying on this table. What happens? This ball reaches the corner and then it falls down to the ground. Why does this happen? That's because of the force of gravity. So the force of gravity is trying to push the ball towards itself, and that is why the ball is falling to the ground. Right? But as long as the ball was there at this position, it had potential energy. So what was the potential energy of the ball when it was lying at this position? This is nothing but mgh. Right? Height is, so basically that is potential energy, right, which is due to its position or configuration. So here the ball has this potential energy because of its position from the surface of the earth. Correct? So this mg is nothing but, it represents the force which is exerted by the surface of the earth. The earth is exerting this force on the ball, and this h is representing the height at which the ball is located. That is the position of the ball. So that is how we are defining the potential energy. And once the ball starts falling down, what happens to the potential energy? That gets converted to the kinetic energy, right? So when we talk of the potential energy for this ball, we assume that the potential. So when we talk of this potential energy, we assume that the potential energy at the surface of the earth is 0. So here we consider the potential energy as 0. So as the ball moves up above the surface, so it attains some height, right? Its position gets defined by some height. And because of that, it starts getting some potential energy which gets stored in it. And as soon as it starts falling, it gets converted to kinetic energy. Right? So this concept is very familiar with you and you are well aware of it, right? So now I will tell you about the electrostatic potential energy, and you have to think it in the same lines. Now let us suppose that instead of the earth here, You have some object with positive charge. Let us suppose this resembles anything, any conductor, any metal plate or anything, some object with positive charges. So whatever we have learnt about charges, what do we know? That like charges don't like each other, right? So whenever there are like charges, they will try to repel. They will try to go away from each other. Now what I do, I bring this another small positive charge in the periphery of this positively charged conductor. So what do you think will happen? Will this positive charge come towards the conductor and stick to it? No, right? So it will get repelled by the positively charged conductor and it will tend to move away from the conductor, right? So it would somewhat like this. Let us suppose these are the electric field lines. So this charge by itself will have a tendency of going away from the positively charged conductor, correct? So what this is its natural tendency. So what happens is, if you try to push it back, if you purposely want that this charge should move towards the positively charged conductor, what do you need to do? You need to apply some extra force. So very similar to this scenario of ball. For example, the ball, if you don't do anything, the ball by itself will fall towards the ground because the force of gravity is already there. But if you want that it should not fall down, in that case you will have to apply some extra force. You will have to apply some force and hold the ball, right? So only when you apply some additional force, it will not move on its own, right? So in that case, how much force do you need to apply so that the ball doesn't move to the ground? A minimum of a force equal to this force which the earth is exerting on the ball, that minimum force is required so that the ball doesn't go down. Similarly, in this case, because of the electric field lines, we have already talked about electric field and field lines, right? So because of the force due to these electric field lines, this charge will always have a tendency to move towards right. That is, to move away from this positively charged conductor. Now, if you want that this charge should move in this direction, that is towards the left, in that case, you will have to apply a force which is equal to, at least which has to be equal to the force due to these electric field lines. So that means you are applying some force on this particular charge. Let us suppose this charge is Q. Let us say this charge is Q. Let me draw all the forces. That will become easy. So the force which is acting in this direction, that is the force due to the electric field of this positively charged conductor. So if you want the ball not to move in this direction, instead move in this direction, so at least you will have to apply a force which is equal to Fe in this direction, right? So this has to be an external force on this ball. So that means you are doing some work to bring this charge from this position to some position, say X, wherever you are taking it. So this work which you are doing externally is taking place opposite to the direction of the electric field, because the electric field will tend to take this charge along with itself, right? But you wanted to move opposite to the electric field. So you are applying an external force and making it move in the opposite direction. So the work which is done by you is nothing but that work done is stored as potential energy in this charge. So what happens when you apply this force? The charge under this force, even though it is not willing to go that side, but since you are applying that external force, it has to move. It doesn't have any other option. So let us suppose it moves to some extent, and as soon as you leave the force, let us suppose you take it till this point X and then you leave the external force. You don't give any force. What will happen to the charge? Will it stay there? No, it will not, because the charge doesn't want to be here. So it will quickly accelerate and go back to its original position. That is, it will again go along with the electric field. So exactly similar to what happens in gravitation in this case also. First you do a work. That work is stored as potential energy, right? Now as soon as you leave the external force, that potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy, and that is when the charged particle again moves back to its original position, right? So this is how you can understand the concept of electrostatic potential energy, comparing it with your gravitational potential energy. Because basically the concept of potential energy still remains the same. Just that your masses are now replaced by your charges, and there we talk about the force exerted by the earth. Here the force is due to the electric field lines, that is the force due to the electric field of some other charged object. Because in electrostatics we will basically deal with interaction of different charges, right? So that was just an introduction to tell you what are you going to study in this lesson. So this is all about electrostatic potential energy. So now we will study everything, that is electrostatic potential energy, electrostatic potential, potential difference, everything one by one. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.